demolish and abolish all the whack records.
Hello, everybody. How are you today? It is me, Demetra K, on this very fine day. You like that? I'm going to be a rapper one day. I doubt it. But anyway, so it's sunny. And it's another edition of the Demetra K Show where we are going to get into it momentarily. So before we do, I want to give everybody on all platforms a chance to get on. So what platforms are those? That is Facebook Live, where I'm going to actually have a conversation with the audience. Eventually it'll be YouTube, and then the podcasts, which are Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. So we are on 3 podcasts. So we're everywhere. Also, like to say a huge thank you to Donovan. Gosh, can I talk today?
Hey.
We need to slow down.
Slow down. Yeah, look, I know you're going for the Rams today. Oh, you're still boycotting NFL. Sorry. You're still boycotting.
We ain't talking about no football here, okay? And so, yes, thank you to Donovan for making all of this happen. And also thank you to Marcus Guyton for spreading the message so that it can go further.
Our pleasure.
Can hear it. And then most definitely thank you to the audience who come here every Sunday to chop it up with us so that we can have a very meaningful dialogue, if you will. And so, as always, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and unity in the Black community to make us an even better people, right? Because there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
And so, like I said, I'll give everybody a couple more moments to get on. So what's going on, Donovan?
Same old. You know, I'm just, I coach basketball, and our team had a loss yesterday because I'm dealing with a lot of cutthroat coaches. These are like 10 years old. I can see if we were in high school.
Right, we talking about like little kids. We ain't talking about like the NBA.
Right, or high school where it's kind of more competitive. We're talking about teaching these kids fundamentals. You got these cutthroat coaches. And it's really sad when the coach is willing to circumvent the rules just so his team can win. I mean, it's the first game of the season. It didn't really mean anything. So it looks like they're going to have to forfeit that game to us.
Donovan's been very heated about that.
Well, and then my nephew was on the other team too, so I wanted to trip him a couple of times during the game. So.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully things get better. And so, for those of you guys who are not able to comment because we're not friends for whatever reason, Marcus has put up a link, and he'll put it up throughout the show that you can click on and comment. So we're going to get into it right now. I posted a video on my page and the Join Demetra K Live page so everybody can see what I was speaking about. And so I'll go ahead and get into it. It seems that Soulja Boy, the rapper, as I have to say he's a rapper, because, you know, a lot of us old people really didn't know, well, I knew who he was because, you know, I'm hip, you know.
All right. Okay. Gotcha.
Soulja Boy, the rapper, came on the scene when he was 16 years old with his self-published hit, Crank That. He has recently snatched the spotlight. He's been getting a lot of slack and criticism for saying that he put a lot of rappers on and that he had the biggest comeback as a rapper recently, in addition to a video game that he made. So a lot of
Not a video game, a video console.
A video console, that's what I mean. A video game console, whatever, that he created.
Typical woman.
Yeah, because I don't know nothing about those video games and none of that stuff, okay? So he's been catching a lot of heat from that, and I'll get a little bit more into that. Now, like I said, but scratch all of that. I want to talk about the things that went over most people's heads. Now, as I said a second ago, Soulja Boy's first song, Crank That, was self-published and distributed by him by way of social media. He ended up selling 15 million copies of the song at age 16. Okay, he is credited with being the first rapper on YouTube and to blaze a trail for other rappers to put their work on social media. Bless you.
Thank you.
So I want to reiterate that at the age of 16, now, a child, he revolutionized the way rap music or music in general was published. He was the first rapper, so they say, and a lot of people have co-signed that, on YouTube to publish his music out there and to go big, like self-published. That's basically doing it himself without a record label. I just want to make sure everybody's clear on that. Okay, so Soulja Boy even made Forbes Hip Hop Cash Kings list in 2010 for making $7 million that year. On The Breakfast Club, he talked about his new video game console. Is a game a console? It's the same thing?
Well, the game console. That's
the
what
game
does the
console,
thing. Yeah.
that is making a lot of money. But it seems that some people are having a problem with it. people are saying that he took the concept for his video game from Nintendo, Xbox, Game Boy, and PlayStation. Nintendo has even threatened to sue him over the similarities of the game console. He denies the claims that he stole, the concept and all that. And so I guess we have to wait for that. Now, he later went on the show, Everyday Struggle, that's the name of the show, where the host tried to clown him for the game console and for having so many businesses. So I don't know if you guys saw what I posted, but in the video, they being academics, and I don't know the other people were there, DJ Academics, but they're kind of getting on this bumper about the game, saying your name is not on it, and this, that, and the other. And it says one of the girls that was sitting on their host, so silly and just ignorant and uneducated, said, well, why do you have so many businesses? As he's going back and forth for academics, I guess apparently Soulja Boy didn't hear it, so she repeated, so why do you have so many businesses? And he blew up, rightfully as he should, and said, well, why don't? He says, what do you mean?
What white guys have it, what their ice is colder than ours?
So let me get to that. And so, let's see. Lost a place. Okay, so so she said, why do you have so many businesses? And he later shot back and said, why don't you have a lot of businesses? He went on to say how we love white people stuff, because he said we all into Microsoft and all the other stuff, and that we need to embrace the black community. Sadly, the people who were arguing with him and calling him his game console scam were black people.
Of course.
On this show. And I've seen a lot of people take him to task. And listen, I don't even know the legality of what's going on with him and the game console and all of that. But I love what he said about us needing to embrace ourselves. Okay, and so he exclaimed that he is a hustler and he is trying to be an entrepreneur. It is said that Soulja Boy has a net worth of about $30 million. But okay. I mean, but it's not disputed. He just is. So the problem is that a lot of people have not seen him lately, but he has a lot of businesses and stuff. And so he is, allegedly worth $30 million.
Well, he was called out for that airplane incident.
That wasn't him. That was Bow Wow.
No. It was him too. He had claimed that. No, not that he was on the plane. He had claimed that he tried to buy this, and I know this because I'm an aviation guy. He tried to have this like Lear jet kitted out and stuff.
Okay, but let's just say this. Even if he's not worth $30 million, the boy is worth 25, 26. At 16, self-published himself. So I think...
Well, he's worth more than I am.
Right. And me and you know. Okay, right. But I think we should give him some credit because he said something that was very profound in that.
Okay.
I think a lot of people don't embrace, and that's really the question. So let me get to that, okay? And so the part that I really loved about what he said is that that he has the group economics concept down. He didn't say about group economics, but what he was saying embodied group economics. That was so refreshing to see and hear, especially from someone as young as him. So the question that I have for you guys is, why does Soulja Boy get it and so many other people in our community don't? As I said, this guy is 26, 25 years old, self-published. Yeah, he's had some issues and stuff, but for the most part, he gets it. In that same interview, that little excerpt that we saw, he said that, he came from nothing, for lack of a better word, Section 8 and all of that. And so he wanted to be a black entrepreneur. And, I don't know the dynamics of what's going on with the whole Nintendo thing. But what I do know is he made a very good point. Like, I'm black. He was talking to the DJ Academics like, basically, you're playing somebody else's stuff. Why not play my stuff? So is he ripping it off? I don't know. But he also said, because I'm a young black boy or black man or whatever the case is. So, of course, everybody is going to be on his bumper. About what he's doing, especially you got Nintendo, who's this big, conglomerate. Of course, they're going to try to take him down because apparently Soulja Boy sold a lot of consoles.
They don't want the competition.
Right. And there's also this, and I'm going to get to you guys' comments in just a second. There's also this thing, I guess there's some entity posted a link saying that basically everybody's not getting their games. And he said, well, at first I only put out, that I was making a game console because I thought I was going to sell about 500. So he didn't know he was going to sell thousands. And so he said, it's a little backlog. But it's not like he's scamming people. He said it's a back, and so he was honest about what was going on.
Sure.
It exceeded his expectations.
So he had a snafu in his business plan. Initially
so it's
projected.
so it's not like he's stealing people's money per se.
But see,
of course,
when a black person does it in the black community, we do it to each other. It's like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah, that, and of course, we know why the white people do it. It's like we don't want him to be successful and take money away from us. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. So God forbid, Soulja Boy is successful and selling these game consoles, but so to me that's understandable. I get it from them. I get it from these white corporations, the white supremacists. I get it, but at some point in time, we're gonna have to get on board because we're gonna buy our kids. Not me, because my daughter's 26, but at some point in time, black people are gonna buy their kids game consoles. Why not buy one from somebody who looks like you? Well, what's the? I don't understand. Where's the problem?
It depends on the quality of the games, and then some of them are systematic games that go back, like us. We're into Donkey Kong, Pac-Man. So if it's kind of theme type thing like that, so people are addicted to.
And then the other thing too is, like, I don't know a lot about video games, but one thing I do is read. I read a lot. So I'm well versed on a lot of stuff, and so. Except for putting my microphone on. So I know there's this game called Fortnite. Maybe you can help me out with that.
I've heard of
that. Fortnite is this big time. It's, from what I understand, it's like one of the biggest video games ever right now anyway. And so the creators of this video game, Fortnite, has stolen, and I'm using the word very strongly, stolen the dance moves of a lot of rappers and just different people who have put out dance moves to their songs and stuff. And so they, being the creators at Fortnite, were called out on that. Hey, it was I think it was Kendrick Lamar. He was saying if you're gonna take the dances from rappers and stuff, at least feature their music. But Fortnite, of course, denied that they did it.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence.
Right, it's just a coincidence, and so they've ripped off the culture, for lack of better words. And so now people, and especially black people, are mad at Bow Wow. Because he's creating a game, but it's like, where's all this energy?
Wait, Bow Wow or Soulja Boy?
Bow Wow. Yeah. He reminds me of Bow Wow. Soulja Boy. Mm-hmm. Where's all this energy for entities like Fortnite? Why are you mad at Soulja Boy for trying to get on? And like, at some point in time, we're going to have to just learn to embrace each other's ventures.
Crabs in the basket.
But why, though? Why? It's like, I don't want to see you with it. Okay, so I get to you guys' comments. And again, if you guys want to comment and for whatever reason you can't, please click the link so you can do so. Hey, Samuel, what's happening? Earl, what's going on? Hey, Asada. And so, let's see. And Marcus, you also put the link up. So I don't see any more comments. And so, I mean, just watching that, it was maybe like 45 seconds long. Mm-hmm. But to me, it was very disheartening and very disturbing because I'll call them the ignorant bunch. They were like dead set in their ways.
Well, you got to remember, we've been conditioned to bring each other down. I mean, the white man doesn't have to do anything. We do it all,
right. I mean,
they're
arguing back and forth with him.
Yeah, we don't want him to be successful because I'm jealous. It's just something that's ingrained in our culture.
Right.
We have been trained to be consumers, period.
Right. God forbid a black man do it, Right. And I think he was saying something too, like he wants to be the first one. I don't know if there's any other black game. I'm sure there are, but they've been ripped off. But he said he wants to be the first. I guess he can be the first black man to have a game console. So now why not get behind him?
Well, I got a question for you. Why aren't these black entertainers and athletes that have that kind of money that they throw in the strip club not investing in his venture?
Well, good question. And so James, what's happening? He says, got to respect that. Soulja hit it on the head, and at least he is trying. On the business/group economics, it is what everyone else does, especially Chinese and Korean, right in our neighborhood. Right in our neighborhoods. Okay, so absolutely. And that's what he was saying. We buy everybody else's stuff and we don't bat an eye.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, you buy all these Asian products. China is the biggest ripoff of American patents in the world.
And not only just that, but a black culture. Hell, China is in Africa right now, raping the land and setting up shop. I'm watching a video of the Chinese. I can't remember which part of Africa they were in, but they had this huge fishing vessel that was just clean. Like loads and loads of fish. And they said at the rate that they're going, those fish are going to be non-existent after a while, and then they'll leave nothing for the people who live there and move on and continue to rape and pillage Africa. And so again, and then Tammy says, speak the truth. Well, I mean, I got what he was saying. And I got it. And I thought too, like, gosh, this little boy, to me, he's a little boy. Mm-hmm. He's 26.
Wait, aren't you a cougar?
No, I'm not a cougar. But
Al looks kind of young. I don't know.
Okay. But anyway,
I threw you off your track.
He gets it, and we should get it. Mm. He gets it. What's wrong with us?
So basically, he is saying, and you are saying, you should buy black because I'm black.
Well, I mean, I think that's a start because you think, to James's point, you have the Koreans and Chinese and everybody else. They do it just because. But
they've never been broken up either.
They've never been broken up. So, yeah, that's one thing they haven't gone through is the
mental anguish.
Right, that we've been through. But, so we know now what the issue is. Mm-hmm. Why are we having such a hard time grasping that
concept?
If I don't even know how much game consoles cost.
The PlayStation 4 went for, I think, almost $500.
Okay, so you're going to spend $500, and Nintendo is made by Asians? It's an Asian company? Mm-hmm. So you're going to spend $500 on a game console, give it to a community.
Yeah, there are no American game consoles.
Okay, so there's no American game consoles. Okay, so all the game consoles are from someone else, okay? And so you're going to spend $500 to give it to another community when you have this black man who is going to, or not going to, it sounds like he has a game console and you don't want to give it to him? I'm confused. And then so Secret Garden, what's happening? He says, some want to work, others want to work it. Soulja Boy is working it. 9 to mentality is a different tribe. What does that mean? 9 to mentality. But yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all. I wish there was a lot of people because listen, and we're going to talk about the shutdown a little bit, but
what shutdown?
What shutdown? At some point in time, we're going to have to realize that it's only going to be us to save us.
Amen.
And so, I mean, I don't know all that Soulja Boy does. I was listening to his interview on the Breakfast Club, and he says he takes care of a lot of people. His mom, his
He stopped that.
Well, why? I mean, that's his mom. He should take care of his mom.
Yeah, of course take care of your mom, but you have an entourage like Allen Iverson. That's dumb.
Well, no, he didn't say his entourage. He said his family. I
agree with him.
He should take care of his family because I'm sure his mom took care of him. But he was telling the story, 9 to 5 mentality. Oh, okay, got it. Forgot the 5, and I guess I probably should have put that 2 and 2 together. But he was saying that because it sounds like a cat. He has 9 lives. That he almost died a few times, and in one of the times, he said his car went into, I guess, an embankment. Him and his friends, and the water started to engulf the car. So he said, "Okay, this is it. I'm gonna die." But then he said the other side of him was like, "You got too many people depending on you." So he said that's what made him fight to get out of the car. Otherwise, he would have died. And so, I mean, I don't have a problem with him taking care of his family.
Yeah, but I'm talking about immediate family, not those hanger-ons.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, don't do that.
So it's the point that I was making. I don't know what he does in the community and things like that, but to his credit, which, a lot of people have agreed that he has put a lot of rappers in the game.
Name me. I haven't. He's not even our generation, so I wouldn't care.
Not him. Of course, and we talking about KRS-One.
Yeah, I wouldn't even care, so don't even bother naming him. I don't listen to music.
A lot of the people like your Drakes, just a lot of the new people I'm not really familiar with, but it sounds like he was very instrumental in doing that, and he backed it up with, as the young people would say, receipts. And so I'm rooting for him. That's all I'm saying. But it's just sad to me that a lot of us don't get that.
Well,
it's also sad to see that the people on the show, and kind of on both shows, The Breakfast Club and Everyday Struggle, were like, they almost had him on there like a got you thing. Let's try to trip him up.
Well, don't you think that those shows that are in syndication and owned by conglomerates, that's their job?
Well, no, I agree.
It ain't like it's a black-owned radio station.
Yeah, but I think the problem that they had, though, was they didn't expect for him to be as versed as he was on
and eloquent.
They thought, I guess they thought they was going to come on there and do a bunch of gotcha stuff. Well, we heard this and we heard that. But, he explained a lot of the things. And like I said, I've heard the song Soulja Boy. What's the name? I just said it. What it was. Crank That, the Superman song and all of that. But I didn't know a lot about him. And as I was reading through the comments, I saw a lot of people say that they also Donovan's cat is rubbing my leg. They also didn't know a lot about him, but they have or people who thought that he maybe had fell off had a newfound respect for him, and so the younger people. I don't know if it's just that the younger people are getting it, but the older people need to get on board. Like I said, especially with the shutdown going on, and I don't see any more comments, and so I'll get into that. In regards to the shutdown. So if you guys want to continue talking about the group economics, well, we'll go ahead and talk about that in the shutdown thing. It was actually going to be my shorter segment. But so as you guys know, we're in the day 30 of the shutdown. Day 30 of the shutdown, almost a month long of the shutdown. The shutdown that Donald Trump and the Democrats are at a standstill because Donald Trump wants at least to start $5.7 billion for his wall. The Democrats are saying, we're not going to give it to you.
Right. No, absolutely not.
He came out with some bogus stuff yesterday about...
Yeah, he wants to give temporary...
For 3 years?
Yeah, for 3 years. That's stupid. Who would make a deal to give these dreamers temporary and then go through this crap again next year and the stopgap and the debt ceiling stuff that's coming? No. If it's not going to be permanent, you don't need to make the deal. Right.
Just to get his wall in it. So... Anyway, so as we know, there's roughly 800,000 or so people who are furloughed or not working, for lack of better words. And some people are working, they're just not earning a paycheck. And so I think a lot of people, especially in our community, do not realize exactly how many of us are affected by that. It is said that, let's see, Black people make up a good amount of the government workers. Yes. Black employees represent about 18.1, 18.2% which is roughly about 345,000 employees of the permanent federal workforce. Okay, now that was as of September 14th, but the numbers are about the same today. Let's see. And besides white people, Black people make up the most employed by the federal government. White people are 63%, Black people are 18%, and Hispanics are about 8%. And so we have most of us, well, for the most part, 345,000 people is a lot of people out of the Black sector. We make up what, 40? So it's like we make up 13 to 14, 12, 13, 14% of the population at about 47 million people or so, maybe. That's a lot of people not working. And that's just for the government
That's
alone.
Government people. We're not talking about the contractors.
Yeah, this the government alone. You're right. So we're not talking about everybody else. That's kind of subdivision.
Yeah, subdivision.
Right. Al, you talking about football on here? And then earlier says, I really don't know about him. However, people mention he has a past history and whatever he said will go through one ear. No, I mean, he has a past history with being silly. But we also got to remember, too, that he is 26. When he first came out, it was 16, roughly. Yeah. Pioneered and self-published his own music. And so I don't know about you, Earl, but I don't know too many 16-year-olds who are doing that. So imagine being a 16-year-old child, because he essentially, at 16 is a child, having that kind of money when to his own testimony, he came from nothing, used to not having anything. So at the age of 16, he sold 15 million copies of Crank That. So you do the math on that. What does $15 million add up to in record sales? And then do the math on what it adds up to for a 16-year-old. And so
it depends how many points he has on the record.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if he had $16 at 16, let's say if he had $1,600 at 16, that's a lot of money. So I'm sure he probably had somewhat upward of $1 million. I'm just going to assume that's what he had. 2010, which was 9 years ago, he was on Forbes Hip Hop Cash Kings list at earning $7 million. So 10 years ago, he was what? He was 16. So at the age of 16, 17, this young kid had, just say he only had the $7 million. How many 16-year-olds do you know are walking around with $7 million in their pocket? And so the point that I'm making, Earl, is, and I'm not trying to, disagree with you necessarily, but I'm trying to make a point. At 16 with $7 million in your pocket, I'm sure a lot of that was unguided. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to learn a lot of things. Hell, there's a lot of people who are 46 who are not where he is in his thinking.
You don't have to rub it in, please.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, Donovan, I wasn't going to point fingers at you.
Yeah, don't, you know.
Right. So there's a lot of people who are, like I said, 46 are nowhere near where he is, not even financially, but just mentally. This dude gets it. And as I said earlier, it is said that he's worth about $30 million. So, yeah, he made some mistakes, but somewhere, somehow, he's, learned to, he says that he invests a lot of his money. So, hey, Amanda. He says, from one song talking about Superman, them hoes. Well, no, it wasn't just one song. I actually Googled. Yeah, he's got quite a few songs and quite a few features with people, and he's written stuff. So
yeah, and you got to remember, us being Americans, we're very.
But that is what put him on, though.
Yeah, us being Americans, we're very ignorant. There are other regions where music is played. So you might not have heard the song here, but it might have been big in Germany.
Well, no, it was huge.
No. I'm talking about some of his other songs. Yeah.
It's funny because I was asking my daughter about Craig David.
Mm-hmm.
He was over here for a little while.
Yeah,
she said, no, he's huge in the UK.
In the UK.
But that's where he's from.
Right.
So
exactly. So
he's doing his thing.
They've got those charts over there, and people don't think about that.
Right. We think it's all about America.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Secret Garden, what's happening? He says Trump is changing subjects that hurt him, basically doing anything to distract people from what matters, like a 2-year-old. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, he wants his wall, and he's going to lie, and so now people don't trust him. You're going to lie and say everything.
It took two people 2 years to figure that out?
Well, some people still haven't figured it out. They think that, Trump is doing the right thing. I've seen people say, keep the shutdown going. Well, don't give them what they want.
Well,
Trump.
as you know, I have a lot of military friends and people in the federal government.
Yeah.
These are the ones that voted for Trump.
Are they hurting now?
Yeah, they're like, oh no, this is terrible.
That's not what they asked for?
Especially here in California.
Let's not make America great again?
No, here in California, they got mortgage payments because everybody's living paycheck to paycheck, so now they're feeling it.
And isn't it weird that you're hearing about a lot of people saying they're like getting ready to lose their house, and so, I don't know. Maybe they were already getting ready to lose their house. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, like you said, paycheck to paycheck. 77% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
They have a mentality of, oh, I'm worth $1 million when you're in debt.
Well, yeah, you're not worth $1 million. Right. And Amanda says, folks saying he is hating, but he did change the culture of rap music. Mm-hmm. It became about the hook and not the lyrics. Right. And so that's a good point. It was saying that, yeah, he kind of hooked it around.
I'm gonna have to disagree with my boo thing.
Uh-oh.
The thing is,
your cat is rubbing my leg and I'm getting freaked out. Yes. Is it gonna eat me?
No, he's not gonna eat you.
Oh my God.
Nate Dogg was the master of the hook. West Coast all the time.
Right. So so a lot of people are giving him credit for that. And also, as you said too, he did get a lot of hate from a lot of the older cats that you love, saying that hip hop is dead. Yeah. They kind of tried to attribute that to a Soulja Boy, saying that he killed hip hop, right, if you will. And so Alex says, Donovan, check the text I sent you.
Alex, check the text. Gotcha.
And then Amanda says, Negro, I'm ignorant.
Yes, dear.
And Early says, this cat is like rubbing. Donovan, get your cat.
He likes you.
It's freaking me out. Get your cat.
I can't. Amanda's all the way in Jacksonville.
It's like this cat is walking back and forth, like grazing and rubbing my leg.
And he's my new cat. What's his name again?
T'Challa. This fool don't even know the cat's name, but anyway. T'Challa. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. Earl says it was a conversation I caught late. Domestic abuse and other stuff. About him. I didn't hear about the domestic violence stuff, but I'm sure he's probably had a lot of stuff, go on. But, it says, what? These are great pictures. I don't see any pictures.
No. Hold on. I'm sorry.
I was like, what? It's not, but Al sent Donovan a text says, can you tell her to zip her jacket? Her boobs are sagging. My boobs aren't sagging, it's my shirt. They up there, okay? Not to grab my boobs and stuff, but thank you.
I'm black people.
Okay, and so let's see. So yeah, I didn't hear about the domestic violence stuff. And so Amanda says, where was the savings? Damn shame. So she's talking about in regards to the shutdown. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people just don't have savings.
Well, they actually said that this is actually costing those people that have been furloughed and stuff that have to get their pay, because Donald Trump did sign Friday that the furloughed workers will get back pay. So those
but I need my money now.
Right. But people like my mom, so they're not working. but they're going to get paid for it as if they were.
Right.
They said that's already $1 billion, and it's not even Monday yet. We already owe these people $1 billion.
I mean, well, if you know you're going to pay it to me, just give it to me now. Just give me my money now. Exactly. But yeah, I agree, Amanda. And so that's another part I want to talk about. Let me get these other comments. And you said no credit cards. Well, a lot of people do have credit cards, and I'm sure they're living off of that now. And
they shouldn't be.
Well, but what you going to do? I mean, I know you don't have a savings, but if you have credit cards, what are you going to do?
You're making your situation worse.
But, okay,
cash and carry.
All right, but I don't have any cash. My cash.
Get out there and sell some oranges.
Was in the way of a paycheck that was coming.
Get out there and sell some oranges.
Oh. And she also says, no, I mean the dance move hooks, so stop trying to debate the queen.
The queen. Yes, dear.
Yeah, don't be debating her.
Yes, dear. And
then she says, she said his cat is in Florida. Oh, and then Earl says the South killed hip hop. Oh, now you're getting into a whole nother genre. And
Danger!
My legs are itching because now I'm creeped out.
Danger!
Okay, and so Amanda says Al is off the chain. He didn't want anybody to see your nipples. You know what, y'all wilding. I got a sweatshirt on.
That's gray.
And a gray shirt. I mean, even if my boobs was sagging.
Well, the sad thing is, if this cat is rubbing against you, what's Tyler going to say?
I know you better get your cat, okay? Your cat is me tooing me, okay? And then earlier say Trump is a fool. Okay, so let me get on to the other things that I wanted to say about this in regards to black people. Okay, and so we see now my boobs aren't sagging. So as black people need to stop being reactive and start being proactive. Donovan, what do I mean by that?
You mean that we got to stop talking and start doing.
That, and I gave my brother this analogy. I was hoping he would use this, but he didn't, so I took it. Reactive is saying, please pray for me.
Right.
I need a miracle. Please pray for me. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. Proactive is, I'll pray for you. I'll pray that everything's all right because I don't need you to pray for me. My stuff is all right. And so basically, when I'm proactive, that means I have to
You've anticipated.
I've anticipated. I have a savings. You guys think about it. The shutdown happened on the 22nd of December. What happened 3 days later?
Christmas.
And what happened almost a month before that?
Thanksgiving.
And what?
Black
Friday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Black Friday.
Black Friday happened.
Right. Well, I wouldn't know that because I don't.
Well, I know, but I don't either. But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to paint a picture for you guys. So Black Friday happened almost a month before the shutdown, which if anybody was paying attention to the news, and see, this is how we get in trouble too, because we don't read and we don't pay attention. When was the money supposed to be funded to the government in order for it not to be a shutdown?
Well, actually, they were doing a continuing resolution.
I know, but what was the original date?
The original date is in the fiscal year actually starts, they debate it in August.
So it was October 1st.
Yeah, October 1st.
If the government wasn't funded by October 1st, that means there was a potential shutdown, but they had an extension.
Yeah. Continuing resolution.
Right, continuing resolution to the 22nd. And so if anybody was following that news and that information, that would have put people on high alert. Okay, you know what? These kids ain't getting no game console this Christmas or the Jordans. I'm saving this money because God forbid the government gets shut down. Then, the kids are going to have the new Jordans and all that, but we're going to be in the soup line. And I'm not even being funny when I say the soup line.
A lot of people
because there are a lot of people in the soup line.
They're heading there. Yeah,
they're literally in the like. I've seen a picture of I don't know if they're getting soup per se, but it's traditionally it's called a soup line or a soup kitchen. The line was wrapped around the block and a lot of these people are just feeding federal workers. So these are federal workers who were standing in line. A lot of restaurants are feeding these people.
Here's a funny thing that you say that the credit unions are fronting money to the thing now that they know the thing's been signed, and they're going to take that money back when it gets deposited into their accounts because most federal employees have direct deposit. So isn't it funny that all these people that have banks, the banks aren't doing that?
Well, the banks is like, we in here business to make money.
Exactly.
We make money off of the interest that
you owe us.
Right. Well, we pay you what 2.2% interest, and then we loan it out at upwards of 30%.
Or those of us who want you to default on some of your
stuff. And so it's like, and then I'm going to say this again, we need to be proactive and not reactive. Be on the front end of that. You know what? And then listen, I don't know too many people with 6 month savings. I'm not saying people don't. Well, Donovan, okay? But I don't know too many people who have 6 months savings. When I say 6 months savings, I'm talking about mortgage, car, everything is taken care of, and God forbid something happens. And so I know it's rough for a lot of people to have a 6 month saving. It is said 3 to 6 months.
No, it's not rough. But
well,
go ahead.
Well, some people it is if they're living.
You got it.
I listen. You preach it to the choir, but I'm saying if 77% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck,
Sad.
I doubt that every last one of those people are tricking off their money. I know that's not really a financial term, tricking off your money. I know, but some of them aren't making enough money.
Right.
They're just not. I mean, hell, in California is the highest place in the world to live.
Yes.
I mean, you go live and try to get an apartment in Los Angeles, you're going to get a studio for $2,000 somewhere.
$2,600.
Yeah, so I mean, and it is said that most
don't go to
Americans
Orange County.
Spend about 50% or so of their income, annual income on housing.
In rent, yeah.
So there's a lot of things going in that. Now, admittedly, there are a lot of people who don't save their money. And a lot of those people are us. A lot of those people are the Black community. And Earl says, I'm still wondering what the distraction is in regards to what, or what distraction are you speaking of?
Probably for Trump. What's he deflecting?
Yeah. So, expound upon that, please. And Amanda says they better go to the game room. For those of you guys who don't know what the game room is, that is like a mini casino in the
yes.
Especially in the South, they got a lot of game rooms, and so I'm not telling y'all to do that. But there are some cases it works. Do not do that, please.
Yeah, do not do that.
Because
especially if it's your last $2.
Yeah, don't go with the rent to the game room. Because we know that the game room is only there because it's winning, not because it's losing. Unless
you're at a Trump hotel, which is you don't lose money in the casino, but he somehow did. So.
Stupid. Yeah. And Earl says the banking system, Donovan, will collapse if they lend money unless you want the banking system to collapse.
No. What I'm saying is the credit union, which is a they don't do it for profit. It's a bunch of group of people like us, members. They are fronting the money ahead because now that some of them have been doing that, but now that it's been signed in, they know they're going to get their money, so they have no problem loaning it.
Right.
Yeah, the banks won't do it, which to me, they have reserves in the bank. They just don't loan all their money. They have nothing in cash reserve.
Then the other part of that too is maybe the banks, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, maybe they're like, well, how we know we going to get it back?
Exactly.
Unless they do like a check in the cash type of thing.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. After what the banks have done to this country, for people who are still putting their money into banks, you got to be out of your mind.
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, banks, whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's not going to give you a whole lot of money. I mean, we can get into a financial segment if we like, but I mean, banks, credit unions, none of them are paying you a whole lot of money to have your money there. At the end of the day, they are benefiting from having your money and not benefiting from them. For you putting your money there.
But put it like this, if you were the credit union, you have a better chance of getting approved a loan than you would a bank.
Yeah, that's probably true. Mm-hmm. And it already says he is the master Trump of distraction. Oh, yeah, I mean, also got it. So you're saying, what is he trying to keep us distracted from? Russia?
This isn't a political show, but if you go to our other show, I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a whole lot of stuff. And I think one of them is he does not want to go to jail, which I don't think he'll go to jail. But
no, he's not going to go to jail.
He doesn't want to be fully exposed, which it sounds like he's he's been exposed, but it just sounds like the last shoe needs to drop. Was it Michael Cohen is going to testify before Congress?
Yeah, but he's not. But he's not going to say anything. And a lot of people don't realize this. People are getting a lot of the investigation confused. Mueller, there's an investigation. Do you guys know there are 7 different investigations going on in the Trump administration? Right. So that thing that was dropped Friday, it might not have been the Mueller investigation, but it's another investigative.
Are you talking about the one where they said that Trump actually pulled the strings, told him to do it? Now that one. People are getting confused with Mueller. There's 7 investigations. So the credible evidence, remember, and BuzzFeed did not back down. No, they didn't.
So their source is probably a different investigative unit.
Right. Because they were saying this is the only time that Mueller's team has ever spoken out about anything in the investigation. And they spoke out to say that they didn't say
they didn't say it. Exactly.
Right. They didn't say that Trump was the puppet master to all this nonsense. That's what they said. But like you said, BuzzFeed is like, we're standing by our source.
And there's 7 different investigations going on. And
then so I already said that's a lie, Donovan. They do have reserves. Trump did that.
They do have reserves.
Who has reserves?
The banks?
The banks or Congress or the government, rather.
No, the government. There's no money in Fort Knox. So if you guys believe that, I gotta.
I guess somebody's saying thumbs up. I don't know.
Yeah. No. I mean, they have reserves, but what I'm saying is the banks are not. They're here to make profit, and they're not giving those reserves to the average everyday $30,000 person.
Hey, Nathaniel, what's happening?
Yeah,
and so already says 17 different. 17 different?
Well, yeah. Now that's a different investigation in regards to other aspects of people like that are associated with Trump. I'm just talking about Trump specifically. There are 7 investigations involved in the Trump situation and his business. Right.
Okay, and so we can continue talking about the shutdown and Soulja Boy if you guys like, but I want to talk about something that I saw. Well, I read it in the newspaper, so I don't know if it's true, like really trending yet, but there's a school in Brooklyn. It's this high-end high school where people's parents pay like $50,000 a year for their kids to attend this high school. And so at this particular high school, these white girls put on blackface in a video, and they're, I guess, moving around and making monkey noises. And so,
where
of course,
are these kids getting this crap from? We're 70 years removed from
their mamas and daddies.
Yeah, we know that, but that goes to show you these white liberals and all this. They're still
right. And so they're making these monkey noises, and they're in this blackface. And so, of course, their parents are saying, "Oh no, that's not what they were doing. They were something."
Don't believe your lying eyes.
Right. And so then the black students there. Now, this is the part that chapped my eye because they're making monkey. Like, can I keep it real with you guys really quick? White people doing stuff that they do to other people doesn't shock me. It doesn't even bother me. I'm going to tell you why it doesn't bother me, because not all, but innately, that's just kind of who they are. I saw somebody put up a meme. I can't remember who it was yesterday of the lynching, the infamous lynching that you see back in the early 1900s of the black man being lynched. His pants are down and a white mob is around him. And it says, these people didn't go away. They had children.
Yes, I've seen that. Mm-hmm.
And so those children are here today. So when I see stuff like the white girls putting on the blackface and acting like monkeys, and even yesterday we saw a video come out of the white boys in MAGA hats messing with the older Indian dude. That kind of stuff doesn't surprise me, because that's just who they are. Right. But what surprises me is this. At this particular school, the black students are, well, we need to have this and that done, and we need to have the people do this, and we need to have these clauses. I'm like, God damn it. You guys are paying $50,000 per student a year. And some people don't even pay $50,000 for college tuition. $50,000 a year for this high school. And so, obviously, if you're black, you have this kind of money. Why are you putting that money there and begging these people to accept you?
Here's the thing, and I think a famous black man said this, Malcolm X. If you have to beg another man to be free, you don't deserve freedom.
Well, I agree with that, but I'm like, here we are, to your point. We are in 2019, you guys. 2019.
20 years.
I look like Trump right there, when I said 2000.
Yes. I'm the greatest negotiator. I'm the best.
Right. 2019. And we are still trying to
deal with this.
Yeah, well, deal with it, but we're trying to force our black selves into their institutions.
Isn't that sick?
It's very sick. And this school has been around since the mid 1800s, like 1854, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So this is like racism is like in the curriculum at the school. Mm-hmm. And so somehow, I guess through the 60s and the civil rights movement, you get to take your black self to the school. And now you're still in 2016 trying to get them to accept you. Well, we pay a lot of money to go here. Well, I know a lot of people have issues with, Dr. Umar Johnson, but Dr. Umar Johnson has been trying to start a school for years. He only needs $2 million. So I don't know how many black people go to the school, but if you're paying $50,000 a year to go there for some hate and racism, to me, it seems like it'd be better off if you put that money into a black school where they can teach you about your black self.
Or start a charter school for yourself and do your thing.
Right. You got I don't know who got that kind of money, $50,000 a year to send your kid to high school. But to me, it seems like you would be wise enough to say, you know what?
I'm done.
Like, why do I want to send my kid? I'm paying $50,000 for my kid to endure hate.
Right.
It's crazy to me. And so, Alu says, money can't buy happiness, but it brings you a more pleasant form of misery. So they say. You know what though? I want to see if that's true.
Yeah, I want to make my own decision.
You know what I'm saying? Let me have that kind of money where I can see if that is true. And he also say it never rains. If it ever rains money, that means it's a changes in the weather. He's so silly and corny. But anyway, so yeah. So, like I said, I read that article this morning, and I'm like, why are we like so surprised when we see that kind of stuff? Like, why are we continuously trying to force I mean, it's like I said, the civil rights movement. They don't want us, and they have never wanted us. So why would we want to? Like, is that it? Is that like I've arrived? That validation of, oh gosh, they're allowing me to be with them, and so once I get here, they show me they don't want me here, and I'm gonna whine and complain. That's like going to somebody's dinner party and they're serving something you don't like and you're gonna whine and complain.
Well, doesn't the LGBT community do that too? They force their mandate on you.
Yeah, they do, but it's a little bit